we've just finished all the drug development work, and that is going to put our drug into healthy volunteers and compare its pharmacokinetic profile, i.e., how it functions in the blood plasma, compare that with Epidiolex, which is the regulatory approved drug that's already on the market.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. Joining me is Ananda Pharma co-founder and CEO, Melissa Sturgis. Melissa, very good to speak with you. You've brought Giles Moss on as an advisor as you move closer to your phase 1 trial in Australia. Can you tell us more about Giles and the significance of his appointment?
Yeah, thanks. Good to see you. So Giles is an ex-senior executive from GW Pharmaceuticals, and we announced a couple of weeks before Giles joined as an advisor. Also, Chris Tovey joined us, and both of them together were both senior at GW, and they were involved very much in the later stage drug development, much more from a commercial and corporate perspective. So investing, how to build out a team, how to get through the regulatory pathway. So now that we are moving from the early stage, if you like, of drug development now into the clinic, so starting to put our drug into patients, we're now starting to look forward to say, okay, we're working on the basis that our clinical trials will be successful and we'll get positive results. So having a team that was involved in the only, so far in the world, regulatory approved CBD drug, Epidiolex, the company GW Pharmaceuticals, that is where we have decided to go because it makes sense to find the guys who can help us navigate this journey faster and cheaper. So there are our objectives, is to get to market faster and cheaper than the previous regulatory approved drug, which is Epidiolex by GW. And I'll just keep going into the clinical trial in Australia. That is going to commence shortly. We've just finished all the drug development work, and that is going to put our drug into healthy volunteers and compare its pharmacokinetic profile, i.e., how it functions in the blood plasma, compare that with Epidiolex, which is the regulatory approved drug that's already on the market, the CBD regulatory approved drug that's already on the market. So really important stage for us as we start to dose our first patients.
And Australia's Therapeutic Goods Administration has acknowledged your first clinical trial. So another step towards that trial then, Melissa.
Yeah, it absolutely is. They seem like baby steps, but actually, they're kind of giant steps for Ananda, because every one of these boxes that we tick takes a long time to do the work to get the box ticked. But getting the box ticked means you move to the next step. And as you say, it's moving us to the point where we put our drug formulation, our drug candidate actually into healthy volunteers to do this blood testing work.
Melissa, why Australia for that first trial?
Good question, and two main reasons. One, from a corporate perspective, it has a very good tax rebate system in Australia, so it's very tax effective for us to do this sort of research and development work in that jurisdiction. And secondly, all the work that is done in this clinical trial in Australia will meet all the requirements that are needed if we go down, or when we go down, a US regulatory pathway. So it achieves two things. One, good tax breaks, and secondly, gives us a leapfrog down that US FDA regulatory pathway.
Melissa, I hope you'll continue to keep us updated with progress. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thanks for your time, and will do.
Melissa Sturgis, the co-founder and CEO of Ananda Pharma.